Blood pressure. The force blood pressure exerts against the walls of blood vessels is known as blood pressure. Usually, arterial blood pressure, pressure in an artery, is measured. Each time the left ventricle of the heart contracts, it forces blood out into circulation. The pressure created in the arteries by this blood is called the systolic blood pressure. When the left ventricle of the heart is relaxed and refilling, the pressure remaining in the arteries is called the diastolic blood pressure. The systolic pressure is reported first, the diastolic second, as in 120/80, which is written as 120/80. Perfusion. The movement of blood through the heart and blood vessels is called circulation. In healthy individuals, circulation is adequate. That is, there is enough blood within the system, and there is a means to pump and deliver it to all parts of the body efficiently. See Figure 612. The adequate supply of oxygen and nutrients to the cells of the body with the removal of waste products is called perfusion. Hypoperfusion, inadequate perfusion, is also known as shock. It is a serious condition. With hypoperfusion, there is inadequate circulation of blood through one or more organs or structures. Blood is not reaching and filling all the capillary networks of the body, which means that oxygen will not be delivered to and waste products will not be removed from all the body's tissues. Hypoperfusion can lead to death. It is important to understand what hypoperfusion is, how it occurs, and how to recognize it. This will be discussed more in depth in the chapter titled Bleeding and Shock. Life support chain. The respiratory system and the cardiovascular system together make up the cardiopulmonary system. The interaction of these two systems is essential to life. Oxygen and glucose are necessary to the cells. Glucose is converted by the cells into energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate, ATP. Adenosine triphosphate, ATP. Oxygen is a necessary component of this conversion process. When oxygen is present, glucose is converted in a process called aerobic metabolism. This process produces efficient amounts of energy and minimal waste products, such as carbon dioxide and water. If oxygen is not present in sufficient supply, the process will shift to anaerobic metabolism. This process produces less energy and more waste products, such as lactic acid. Waste products, in turn, make the body more acidotic. Acidosis injures the body's cells and limits the body's ability to carry oxygen. Movement of oxygen from the blood into the cells, coupled with the removal of waste products, is referred to as perfusion. As stated previously, perfusion is essential to normal cell function. Perfusion depends on the cardiopulmonary system, as described next. In order for cells to be oxygenated and carbon dioxide to be removed, a variety of factors must be working properly. First and foremost, air must be reaching the alveoli of the lungs, and once there, must be matched up with a sufficient supply of blood in the pulmonary capillaries. If, for example, air is obstructed from getting to the alveoli, as in a foreign body obstruction, gas exchange cannot occur. Similarly, if there is not enough blood passing through the pulmonary capillaries, as in the case of severe external bleeding, gas exchange also cannot occur. This coupling of a sufficient amount of air with a sufficient amount of blood is called ventilation perfusion, a ventilation perfusion match, and abbreviated as a V/Q match. There are other critical elements to normal perfusion as well. The heart must pump effectively. If the pump fails, blood will not move. There must be sufficient oxygen in the air that is breathed. There must be an efficient capability to carry oxygen in the blood. Anemia is a condition that in some cases reduces the number of oxygen-carrying red blood cells. Furthermore, if the mechanics of respiration are disrupted, air will not move. All of these elements are critical components to perfusion. So let's review terms. Central pulses, the carotid and femoral pulses, which can be felt in the central part of the body. Blood pressure, the pressure caused by blood exerting force against the walls of blood vessels. Usually, arterial blood pressure, the pressure in an artery, is measured. There are two parts, diastolic blood pressure and systolic blood pressure. Systolic blood pressure, the pressure created in the arteries when the left ventricle contracts and forces blood out into circulation. Diastolic blood pressure, the pressure in the arteries when the left ventricle is refilling. Perfusion, the supply of oxygen and nutrients to and removal of waste from the cells and tissues of the body as a result of the flow of blood through the capillaries. Hypoperfusion, inability of the body to adequately circulate blood to the body's cells to supply them with oxygen and nutrients. A life-threatening condition, also called shock. See also perfusion. Shock. See hypoperfusion.